Whoa, you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a beautiful child when you were only starting to...
Hello, I'm Dr. Robert Hurst, orthodontist and author of Life's Fingerprint, How Birth Order Affects Your Path Throughout Life, the only book that addresses the concept of double birth order. Birth order affects all aspects of your life, and in this video, we're going to address the very beginning of life, birth. In today's society, we can plan our births or adoptions, and in so doing, affect the structure of our families in various ways. The birth number and spacing between siblings will affect their personalities. The first child starts life as an only child. As parents, the two of you can hover over this child and address his every need. He can become very adult-like or very spoiled, as he or she gets anything and everything they want. We see this child in the characters played as children in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Charlie was the very responsible, adult-like only child, and the other children were the spoiled type. This child can lose his exalted status with the addition of the next child, and it can be a difficult transition. And you ask, why is that? Well, you put so much energy into this first pregnancy and the first birth that this child really feels that something is lost when the next child comes along. In fact, the first child gets so many sonograms before he's born that he's keyed to the time when the technician puts the gel on his mother's belly, he starts to wave. The firstborn rarely sees a sitter. In fact, they only trust grandma, and grandma better expect a call every 30 minutes until they come home. This child was signed up for nursery school the day he was born, and he's now waitlisted on the best kindergarten in town. Well, the next decision you have to make in your family is to decide on the spacing of the second sibling. If you want less than 4 years, you'll be building a family of interacting children. Each successive sibling interacts with the others for a group of children, each playing their own role in the family. You have the bossy number one telling the others what to do, the number two that doesn't want to be told what to do, the number three that stirs the pot but stays outside the sibling rivalry of the first two, and number four, the baby that everyone ignores so has to be loud just to be noticed. Each child can help the younger one through the process of toilet training and school. With closely spaced kids, they'll never forget the fighting for the window seat in the car, reading Big Sister's diary, tattling on each other, or trying to bury a baby brother in a hole you dug in the backyard, but also cheering on the first one in the family to ride a two-wheel bike without training wheels. You have a second choice. Space your children 4 or more years apart. Because of the spacing, you add the only birth order to these children. You might have decided to do this so you could focus your attention on each child and not be overwhelmed during these developmental years. For those that space their children 4 or more years apart, they add the only birth order to each of their birth order numbers, giving them 10 times the power of a single birth order child. With this individual spacing, you end up with individual families of one child each. They don't interact like the closely spaced family, but each child does have a birth order, and it's been amplified, magnified, and intensified by the only birth order. The reason this child gets that extra birth order is that they've been at home those extra 4 years with a parent while the other children are off at school. Some examples of these double birth orders are one-onlys, Sylvester Stallone, Oprah, Barack Obama, Bill Clinton. Two-onlys, David Letterman, Ellen, Britney Spears. Three-only, Suzanne Summers, Alfred Hitchcock, and Dr. Phil. Four-onlys, Jodie Foster, Don Knotts, and Mitt Romney. Whichever plan you choose, you now know what to expect when you have multiple children in your family. Like your fingerprint, your birth order is who you really are.
Yeah, you must have been a beautiful at you now.